out to Hoop Jargon, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoop Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
shout out to Hoop Jargon. Shout out to
Hoop Jargon, man.
Hold on, I had my mic on mute. I was too excited. Man, shout out to Hoop Jargon, man. Shout out to the great Kendrick Perkins, my boy C. Hendo. And we about to get it, man. We got a live show for you today. I got two great Cowboy minds. We bring my boy D. Brown back, my boy Richard Walker. Shout out to the early birds, chat. Dex doing his thing. Logan always showing love. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. What I'm going to do? D. Brown.
There he is. What's up?
What it
do?
What's going on?
Yeah, what's happening?
Another Monday night in Zamunda.
Yes, sir.
Here we go, goddammit.
Let's get it.
So we got a lot of good stuff for you, man. Yeah, man. We got the Sheagles today. And, I want to talk about the backdrop of what we got going about the game. Recap a little bit where we are in the season, and then we'll talk about the actual game. So, if y'all boys are ready, let's hop into it. I want to say this as we start. Watching the Chargers play against the Buccaneers, watching how we played against the Chargers, we have a damn good football team, man. We supposed to have destroyed the Chargers, in my opinion. We let them off, but we end up, pulling the game out like we should have. And so it shows how potent our offense is. And so I think we're in a pretty good stead and almost beating the Buccaneers as well in week one, as we all know. So where do you brothers go? I mean, where do you think where we are right now as it pertains leading into this game?
Well, I mean, I think the problem with the Cowboys is, and it has always been, especially as of late, is the consistency. Which Cowboys team are we going to see? Are we going to see the team that, basically, really, to be frank, we should have lost the game against the Chargers. They had a couple of calls go against them that they should have easily had an additional, I think it's like 17 points that they took off the board just because of dumb penalties and stuff like that. So, on the books we 1-1, but we really very easily could have been 0-2 just because of how sloppy that they played. So, are we going to see that team, or are we going to see the team that had the defending champs on the ropes? Because they played a lot tighter game against the Buccaneers than they did against the Chargers. It just the cards kind of turned in our favor. We got a lot of home cooking. Even though road, I don't give a damn if they say that was a home game. You heard that crowd out there. So we got some home cooking from the officials in game 2 against the Chargers. But it's you never know what you're going to get with this team. That's the thing with the Mike McCarthy era. Has just been too much inconsistency.
Man,
Go ahead, Dan.
I agree with Richard in that it's going to be interesting to see how this team establishes consistency as they go forward. The big thing for me, man, is how they going to navigate, like every team has to, the injury situation along with the COVID situation, because you got to have your guys available. I think the consistency is going to be a lot more evident on the offensive side of the ball, because that's where they're better, on the offensive side of the football. Going into week in, week out. The big thing for me, man, as it goes forward, in particular tonight, when you got the threat at QB that they're gonna face and Hurts, is what kind of defensive pressure are they gonna be able to generate, particularly from their down linemen, and that inconsistency in terms of QB pressure, being able to defend in the back end. If they can establish some stuff tonight and going forward, is going to serve him well. But Rich brought up a great point about, when he actually mentioned Mike McCarthy, he's actually one of the biggest concerns going into any matchup, I think, man. Dude, on top of, because sloppy plays will happen over a 60-minute game. You're going to see that. Poor execution or whatever. But, man, there are times from a situational game management, decision standpoint from that sideline that Mike McCarthy scares the living hell out of me. In terms of the decisions that you make, man. And you shouldn't have to concern yourself that much, from the sideline when you're looking at, the game being decided on the field, man. But, man, this dude, even going back to last year, man, some of the decisions that like he tried, to Richard's point, he tried like hell, damn the penalties. He tried like hell to game manage Dallas out of that game. And last year, and fortunately for him, Greg Zuerlein bailed him out. But it's like that was one of the worst managed end of game situations I've ever seen. So, but this is in his short stint here, this has been a concern. So, it's a division game, man. They got to get it. It's the rival Eagles. Again, I like what I'm seeing offensively. I hope they can establish a modicum of consistency on defense in terms of getting consistent pressure and being able to defend on the back end. And just hopefully they're not in a situation where Mike McCarthy has to make a big decision. There's that.
Yeah, I'm with that. And so I think it's a few good points you brought up. And shout out to Ghost 007 in the building. Shout out to Between the Games. I always support the channel. Jimmy. I think situational football, I don't think nobody's on this panel is going to argue you down that that's been our problem for the better part of the last 2, if not more years, be to the Jason Garrett time.
Yeah.
I think we all can say that. I think we all understand that. That's what we do best. Mess up situational football. Yeah. So that's what we do. Hell, you can argue week 1 mismanagement was scoring too early, giving Brady all that time, and we saw what looked like 2016 playoffs all over with Aaron Rodgers. Looked like the same shit. So one could argue that was one. A point that you brought up, Darren, I want us to expound on. I think can we get to Jalen Hurts? I think that's a very valid concern going forward. So, in particular, man, what do we think about with Micah Parsons just turning into it in our eyes? Because right now with D-Law out, he's going to be a primary edge rush. So I want to kind of get you guys' opinions on the development of Micah Parsons.
No, I think he's doing a hell of a job. They took him from backer, throw him in, got him as a pass rusher, got him standing up, got him ground, got the gear, doing everything. So, he's really I think he's our best defensive player already. In terms of what he brings to the Cowboys. And I did notice that the secondary seems to play better when he was able to cause some problems because he's so quick and athletic. Like he comes right off the ball and causes those tackles problems. And so you got quarterbacks moving around, you got them moving off their spot, and he had some opportunities that he created for the secondary. So he's not going to be an issue at all. My concern is tonight because you got a different type of quarterback. You're not playing against Justin Herbert, who's a guy that stands in the pocket and kind of picks the defense apart. Jalen Hurts can hurt you more than one way. Of course, he can stand there and deliver, but he also is somebody that can get down with his legs. So I would rather had Micah as in his original spot because he's the kind of guy that you can assign to be a spy and kind of contain a guy like Jalen Hurts. But I don't know who's going to take that role. I damn sure hope it's not Van Der Esch because he's not the kind of guy that you really rely on for that type of situation. But that's going to be a factor tonight. Is sometimes they're going to run a lot of read pass option, and Jalen Hurts, man, you don't know what you're going to get with that guy, man. So he's always dangerous when he has the ball in his hands. So they're going to have to come up with something because he's going to make some plays with his legs, and I hope that somebody else besides Micah Parsons shows up tonight on that defense.
Man, Richard brings up another great point in the concern as far as tonight's matchup goes. And I think the absence of Keanu Neal is going to be huge.
Yes.
Because he's a guy that, understanding he's the most experienced guy in Quinn's scheme. He's already shown a knack for like making a play, making a timely play, even in these first 2 weeks. And I think, just his understanding of where to be in situations and ability to make those plays is going to be a big deal tonight. To Cliff's original question about Parsons, man, I was high on him even in his limited exposure coming out of school. And what I've seen of him the first 2 weeks, man, has just been jaw dropping. I agree with Rich. I think he's certainly becoming the most, versatile and impactful defensive talent. I think as the season goes along, I think it's probably going to be him and Neal 1A and 1B. And to also extend the other point that Richard made about Hurts' ability to hurt you with his legs, obviously, that's where I'm really concerned on the extended plays. When you got the Anthony Browns out there, because they got a lot of speed on the edges, so the breakdowns can happen. I hope they can limit those plays where, if Hurts gets out on the edge and you got Rager or whomever just, running free downfield because somebody took the eyes off of them or what have you, and we didn't get the pressure that we should get. It's going to be interesting, man. I think they got to be disciplined in tonight and maybe not let him get to the edges as much. Try to force him up in the middle. And really, if they can, make him read and make the throw. He's got to stick it in there because he has his moments where the accuracy is not quite, doesn't scare you as much as his ability to break it down on the buster play with his leg. So that's going to be a big concern. But there's one guy that I feel good about that's on the field for the Cowboys that can make a play that's going to be out there tonight is that rookie. I mean, Michael Parsons he's showing the world that he's becoming something special. So I'm feeling good about that.
So, are we ready to label him after a pretty great Cowboy defenseman yet, or are we just gonna wait that out? Because one more good game, the comparison is gonna roll out, man. So, anybody want to step on that too quick and say with great Cowboy that he may be reminiscent of? As far as impact, doesn't necessarily have to be his full play of his game.
Well, he reminds me of a very raw, very young DeMarcus Ware. Meaning that, he's versatile enough to put on the line, play linebacker, play inside linebacker, play outside linebacker. I mean, the dude is just a defensive tool. And, like I said, he had limited reps, playing in the end, and he was out there. He caused a lot of problems for the Chargers, man. So for him to just step up and get on that line, and he's not a huge guy, but he's also got a lot of good tools too. So you see when he come off the ball, I mean that tackle was looking confused. He's like, whoa, where's he at? Like he's trying to grab him. He had a couple of holding penalties against him, and he just is very disruptive, especially for a guy his size, because that's not his thing. He's not a bull rushing type of guy. He's not a big brute. But coming off that line, he caused a lot of pressure. He's a great run stopper. Very smart football player. He's the kind of guy that, I can see him with the right coaching and, situations. He can develop into a DeMarcus Ware type, all around. But this kid is he's the real deal, man.
Man, I like the comparison that Richard put out there with, especially like young Ware, because if you remember when DeMarcus first started, he was so explosive and would get upfield every now and then he would run himself out of plays because he would just get upfield, and then when he, as his understanding increased, like I said, he got coached up, he got a little bit stronger that second year, and then he became as effective as a run stop as he did as a pass rush. That's going to end up putting him in the hall, but. Man, I'm gonna tell you, just in the little sample size we've seen so far, he does remind me of Ware, but just some of the elements of his game, man, for a dude just to be asked, off the rip, go put your hand on the ground and go rush the passer when that really wasn't his thing, and to be able to do that, I think people really need to take note of how special a physical talent and football playing talent he is, because that's instinctive, that's pure athleticism, and in those elements, he kind of reminds me of a little bit of, say, like a Derrick Brooks, and or even a Derrick Thomas for that matter. Because DT wasn't really like that big of a guy, but he was just so fierce coming off that edge, getting to the quarterback. And people, forget he played, he can stand up, a linebacker. But to be able to do those things and have that kind of versatility and be effective, not just being in the space, like I said, still early, man. I mean, I would love to see, a half-season sample, but man, damn, man, if you're going to impress me with 2 games to this point, then he's done it.
we forgot that D-Law didn't even play. We forgot all about it.
Right.
Oh, he didn't play? For real? Yeah, I
right.
forgot he didn't play. I don't know.
Your $20 million defensive end didn't even play. So I'm really anxious to see if they can get some extended time together. Him, Gregory, and D-Law, that is, Gregory and Parsons on the field at the same time. But we see how he plays out. But man, this young cat is impressive. And the fact that they putting so much on him, he's just like, all right, let me handle it. Really impressive.
And he talking that shit too. He talking shit.
Right. And producing. So
and producing,
man. I'm impressed. Yeah.
And producing.
Yep.
Absolutely. And if he can just be like that young Jason Pierre-Paul, man, when he was at the Giants, man, he had a good start out the gate. Really good start out the gate. And the versatility kind of reminds me of that. And so, man, if he can just be, I don't even care where he's lying, on the front four, or in the backfield. Like I'm good wherever he's at if he's comfortable, because we got holes everywhere, man. Like we've been drafting linebackers. I love Jadison. I do. I love Andy Ash, but goddamn it, they ain't been who we thought they was gonna be. And that's just a fact of the matter. So he pretty much our Swiss Army knife on defense, man. And we could have made a better pick when we needed a cornerback. We needed St. Jr. We didn't get him, but that's like the second best thing we could have had, because he's probably filling up more holes of what he's doing than what a cornerback would have done for us, essentially.
Right, because a cornerback can only do so much if you're not getting pressure up front. If your D lineman not even causing problems, the quarterback got all day to play. So,
so I was thrilled one dude off the field.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man, I'm crazy impressed with this kid, man. I just hope he keeps it up, because, they need it. Whether we catch it, they need that. So we'll see what happens.
Now I'm gonna tell you who else I got my eye on is that safety kid Curse, Jaron Curse.
Yes,
he's been making a lot of good plays. I've been keeping an eye on him. Like he has been getting burnt. He had the one play where, and I think it was kind of a bullshit call. They called a little holding call, but he made like a hell of an interception, and they called it back. But like I was like, okay, I see you out there doing things. So.
But to your point, Richard, the thing I like about Curse, and I'm going to ask both of you guys a question, and just pose it rhetorically. When's the last time we talked about Cowboys defense since maybe?
Other than them choking away games.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but when's the last time have we ever attached the word and it's legit playmakers on the Cowboys defense? Like, they had a collection of guys, but I'm talking about playmakers. I'm talking about Neal. I'm talking about Curse. I'm talking about Parsons. Like, all of a sudden, now they need more. Let's be clear.
Right.
But all of a sudden, it's like, damn, man, you got, I think somewhere in this conversation, we talked about it week 1, Cliff. I think my man out of LSU is going to end up getting the conversation. Jabril Cox. During the factor in the conversation before too long. So all of a sudden, man, they starting to sprinkle in some cats, at each level that can make plays. I mean, like situation plays like, hey, man, we need to stop. We need a sack. We need a pass breakup. We need a pick. Make a play. Even then, of course, the kid Diggs, I mean, it's looking like, that dude. Also, let's please not leave him out of this conversation. I mean, so all of a sudden, we're like, wait a minute. Because they got playmakers all over the offense. Let's be clear. They got playmakers everywhere. But all of a sudden, now it's time to gel. Now it's time to get schemes, scheme confident, if you will. But all of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute. They got a few cats that can can actually make plays. If we can get a few more and they can gel, then who knows, by week 10, week 11, we might be talking about something.
Well, it's been our problem forever, man. Like, we even had a playmaker in the backfield since, like, damn near Roy Williams, man. Because we've always had that bend but don't break defense. Damn near, it feel like for 15 years, man. And our problem is we've always had to outscore somebody, and we couldn't get a big stop. And now we starting to get stops, and it's like, what emotion right now? Like, because, you know, in your fan mind, all right, like you just said, Darren, let's get a turnover. We knew damn well when no turnover coming from that defense, man.
Right.
From the better part of the last 10 years. You know, it was like, just don't give up a touchdown. Shit. Let's keep the game in striking distance. But now really, it's like you expecting a turnover.
Right. Exactly. Well, you see, guys, you used a great term, the bend don't break, because that's been the bulk of it to this point. Like, they didn't get but they would never, outside of 18, you know, that defense that kind of surprising, and even then they weren't that great at generating pressure. They were decent. They were still giving up plays in the back end, and then he got a little bit exposed, actually a lot exposed, in the Rams playoff game, you know, up front. So that was a little bit of fool's gold. But that bend but don't break identity has been there for way too long. So you really didn't see a Cowboys defense with playmakers that could force the issue. You know, that's when you kind of turn the corner. When, you know, like Tampa, you know, like last year. I mean, when Tampa needed a play from their defense, they got it. You know, you look at teams like Pittsburgh, they were good. Baltimore, you know, got defenses that can force the issue. You know, and in their turn, they use a lot of play complementary football where they're dictating to what the other team's offense is doing rather than holding their breath and holding it on. So we'll see how they can hopefully make that happen, man. And then with a cat like they facing tonight in Hurts, you know, that's one of those. Hopefully, it's one of those nights, man, where they can be a little bit more dictatorial and like, you know, hopefully, like, he doesn't miss a play versus making a play against him, a forcing the issue.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's the philosophy change, and that's why I say the one thing I like about Dan Quinn is let's get the ball, let's get to the ball, let's get our hands on the ball, let's try to get some damn turnovers. And so that changes the whole mindset, that the way that these guys approach the game, because they've always been taught, don't give up the big play, don't get burnt, which they still want to do it anyway. They blow the tackles, they blow the assignments, they're in the wrong position, they letting guys run routes on them that, you know, no one's checking. Then you got the DB, the cornerback, and the safety looking at each other. Don't look crazy. Both of y'all out of position. So now you go from that to, you know, a mindset whereas when that ball goes up, it's ours. Then that's the mindset that Dan Quinn he's always had that Legion of Boom defense he had. Yeah. Them balls were some hogs, man. Everybody on the defense was trying to get the damn ball. So I like that. They're gonna make some mistakes. They're gonna get some burn. I'd rather see a situation where you try to go for the ball and, you know, maybe it don't work out and you get beat.
No question.
And for you to try to play underneath, keep them underneath. You have piss poor tackling, you have piss poor angles, you get beat anyway. So if we're gonna lose, let's lose trying to get to
being aggressive. Absolutely.
Be aggressive. So I saw the question posted. They said that the secondary is on the pace to have 16 to 18 interceptions. Is it fool's gold? I don't think it is, man. I think they're legit turnovers that they created. And especially when we get the pieces back, when we get the D-Law and Randy Gregory back there, and who knows? I hope that they continue to put Micah into rotation on that D-line, because we already see what he can do. So it gives them so many different tools that they can use, different looks, confuse these offenses. I think they're gonna get, you know, those type of those type of interception numbers. So I don't think it's fool's gold.
I think I love that point, Richard, in that when those guys come back and they're in full rotation again, that you use a cat like Micah to give that offense something to worry about. It's like, man, where is he lining up? Right. Because even if that hesitancy in running the plays, like if you got to figure out where 11 is, you've already disrupted them pre-snap. So it's a legit problem, which that extra half or whatever, a half second, and trying to figure out where to get in block. If they miss an assignment, he's gonna make a play. If he just what they're doing, then you helping that back end do that thing. It's all compliments, it's all flows. But I'm with you, man. I think the change in personnel, like I said, they still need more. But the KZs, the Curses, the Neils, I don't think what you're starting to see that looks and feels different with this group is an accident, because I think they've just got better personnel. They want to understand the scheme, and just to your other point, have and play with a more aggressive mindset, which makes Anthony Brown even more of a pariah than he already is. Like somewhere,
stop being so damn conservative, because we got an offense that's gonna score. I'm not worried about that. We good. We gonna put points up on the board with Dak Prescott. As long as he healthy, we straight. Take chances. Get after that damn football. Yeah. Get the ball back to Dak and let him do his thing. That makes us even more dangerous.
How do you think they play it tonight with kind of compromised personnel with Neil being out? Do they sit back and try to make him a passer? Do you see some chances taken in
if I'm gonna lose to Jalen Hurts, I'm gonna lose on his arm, man. Because I mean, like I said, you know, he creates problems with his legs. He creates those. He extends those plays. He creates first downs. You know, your secondary is looking back into the backfield to see what he's doing, and that's when he gets you.
Yeah.
So I say, hey, contain the edges, bring pressure on him, make him stay inside the pocket and throw the football. Because the Eagles, of course, they're all right. You know, they're not world beaters. So I mean, you know, if I'm going to identify one area, one weakness, then that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to try to push him back into the pocket and let him beat us with his arm.
I agree. I totally agree.
That's the obvious way, man. He's young. How many games did he play last year? Yeah, he played like half the year last year. So
like half the year, maybe 7 games or something like that, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, he was
it wasn't great either. So no, I'm with that line of thinking, man, because he still has. My point, still have a full season under his belt, so he's still trying to figure shit out. So let him figure it out. Don't let him go to his instinct, which is getting out on the outside and scooting, because we know we don't do so. Let's not make him a runner, please. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So speaking of running,
I see Rager Smith behind him, you know, with a 60-yarder because the play broke down because he got to the edge.
Yep.
Boy, we give up big plays like nobody else. I tell you that.
I know, I know.
Speaking of running the big plays, man, so let's switch over to the offense, and y'all guys alluded a little bit over the offense. So let's talk about the Zeke and Pollard dynamic. How do you think? So between the game, sports says, do the Cowboys continue to include Pollard, or they revert back to just having Zeke? What do you gentlemen think about that?
Stay with it. Stay. Yeah. I like to switch. I like to change the pace. As a matter of fact, I like to threat even some of those packages where Moore has them out there together. Because, again, that becomes a matchup problem. Because the thing is, you know, there's a finite amount of guys you got to account for. And, man, you know, when you have Zeke and Pollard out there in some of those sets, because both of their tight ends are good where you can run a one tight end, 2-back set in some situations and really mix that up, you know, because Schultz and Jarwin are both really solid. So you can, blocking and receiving threat. So if you got, when you put him out, say, put Pollard in motion, or even let him get the ball because 21 is back there with him, you give him the defense, Pollard, man, you give him a lot to think about. And Pollard, man, Pollard in space is special, man. So, you run those little flat screens, or just like the little dump off, the little cross them out underneath, man, because I like to match up with him on the safety or linebacker, especially if you get him in motion and they make them declare. So, yeah, keep that 2-back mix going. I really ain't giving a damn about, Zeke's got to get his touches. Zeke got to get his touches as the game dictates. I like the unpredictability of Zeke and Pollard because they both threats and they both weapons. So keep that as unpredictable as they have the first couple of weeks is the way I roll with it.
Right. I kind of think of Zeke and Pollard as like a jab and a right hook. Okay. Zeke is your jab. Hand him the football on first down. Zeke, you need to get us by 3-4 yards. Get us to 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. You know what I'm saying? Those types of – that's where Dak is the most dangerous quarterback in the league. I don't care what nobody say. You get him 2nd and short, you don't know what the hell you're going to get from the Cowboys, man.
Right.
So that's the thing. He's the bell cow back. He's the one that takes the ball on first down, get us in that second and short situation where we can do a whole lot of different things in the offense. Then when you bring Pollard in, you hand him the rock. He can go. He can run between the tackles too. It's underappreciated, but he can run between the tackles. He gets to the edge. He's got good hands out the backfield. So it gives you that dynamic, like you mentioned, where we can continue to move the ball, and then going kind of peeking back to what we talked about on defense. Now you get more aggressive because you're controlling the clock, you're controlling the tempo, we're moving the ball, we're scoring points. Then now you can peel those guys back on defense and get after the quarterback. So
no doubt.
I like the 1-2 punch. Don't change a damn thing about the 1-2 punch. I don't give a damn if Zeke is your fantasy running back. That's just too damn bad. He's not gonna have them numbers like he had before. Get over it. Deal with it. No, Zeke is not a bust. No, Zeke is not stealing money from the Cowboys. They changed the offense. We're not a run first team anymore. I don't know what team y'all been looking at the past 2 years or so, but the Cowboys are a passing team. So you're not going to see that 2,000 yards or whatever the hell it is everybody's talking about that they want to get from Zeke. It just ain't going to happen, man. That's not his role no more. So he's a bass player. He's no longer the lead singer. Get over it. Deal with it.
I like that. And his versatility is still, I think, underrated too, Richard. Zeke, that is. In terms of because, I think people way underrated, when you a cat as big as he is, and big in terms of stature, you gotta give him credit for being able to block like he is and willing to accept that, man. He kept out of the backfield. He's got a lot going on that way. I'm gonna circle back, man. I got a contract him out. I gotta holler him real quick.
Yeah, but we still don't have 100% of our offensive line too, so that's why it's important to keep that two-back system going, because we got the injuries that still are a factor, and then of course we got our idiot Mr. Collins trying to bribe people. I know we're gonna get to that here in a minute. So it makes it easier for those guys when we got those backs that are continue to move the chains and make it easier for them. As a lineman, one of the things that used to really piss me off was when you got indecisive backs that just sit around back there and try to wait for a perfect lane to come through and for everything. All that. I ain't got time for that, man. I got my hat on this man. I'm blocking him. Get your ass in that hole and let's go. So to your point, Kay, I remember Zeke fell down for 3 yards each run after contact, man. But he's pushing it, man. He's in better shape. I think last year he wasn't in shape for most, if not all, the season. So that's a factor too. But he's back in shape this year.
Yeah, I think now I missed y'all's Zeke and Pollard discussion. I had to take a phone call, but I saw your last thing about not having the O-line complete. Shit. We ain't been able to say that since about 2016.
Yep.
But I think for a minute, so we got to learn to work around that. I ain't trying to hear that shit no more.
Nope.
We got to have a workaround, man. I'm sorry.
Right.
But, yeah, man, I now, not hearing what you guys said, but I guess my opinion is we have a good balance. And I know Zeke is supposed to be our bell cow running back. He's supposed to be the every down back. He ain't that no more. I think we all understand that.
No.
And Pollard, you don't bring in a guy. We drafted him with second round?
I believe so.
Out of Memphis? Yeah. You don't bring a guy in like that just to sit in the wings.
No.
And bring in an OC like B, who's constantly coming up with creative things. Being a guy from Boise, which that's what they do.
Right.
So yeah, you got to get his ass out there. Week 1 and 2 showed you. He's worth the draft pick, so you got to have him out there on the field. And he gave us a dynamic that we tried to have Lucky Whitehead be. He was supposed to be our gadget guy, but
Lucky Whitehead, oh man.
God bless him, man. God bless him. I didn't dislike him, but I was like, yeah, no. Tavon Austin was supposed to be our guy, similar to that. Didn't quite work out. So this is a legit guy who can take. I think he can take full-time running back duties, but I don't think that's the best way to use him.
Right.
Obviously, we got Zeke, so it's no point to even attempt to do that. But no, I think we're using him fine, man. Just get him out to those edges and get him to beat people one-on-one, because he got that wiggle. That's a quick son of a bitch. That's a quick son of a bitch, man. Yeah. So
as I mentioned, it's also underrated that he can also run between the tackles too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can use him as that. I just don't think that's his ultimate strength. Yeah.
Right. But,
yeah. So. Okay, I don't know if D Brown back. He making a disappointed dad face over there. But yeah, let's keep talking about that offense, man. So we know that Gallup is out, so our receiver core is going to step up. They're saying Amari Cooper's a little banged up. How do you expect that dynamic to look today against the Eagles secondary?
CeeDee Lamb. This is the CeeDee Lamb show tonight.
Absolutely.
So I mean, Cooper can only do so much, especially with bad ribs. That's a real bad injury for a receiver because I don't care how you slice it, you're gonna get hit in the midsection. Pow is gonna happen. I hope that he's able to play the full game and get through it all. But it's the CeeDee Lamb show tonight, so. I don't know who the Eagles have that will match up with him one-on-one. I don't think they have anybody that's capable of defending him one-on-one. I expect them to probably have to use some type of zone coverage, some type of bracket coverage or whatever. So should be some opportunities for some of the other guys, especially the tight ends. But CeeDee Lamb I expect him to have a big game tonight.
Yeah, I'm with that too, man. CeeDee Lamb is only show now that one.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Oh, he's back.
You hear me, Rich?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now I was saying that CD. Now that one drop last week that cost us. I'm not gonna hold him too much for that. I mean, he's still a young guy. Those are gonna happen. But that's a must-have catch there. But he's gonna act a damn fool, man. And I'm liking that he has that next play catch, look up field mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while,
that
man.
Play at the end of the first half, man. Oh man, that was badass. That's CD, man. That's CD.
Yeah. That's CD.
That's CD.
He got that imagination, and that's something that just we didn't have at wide receiver one, man, in a minute, man. And maybe young Dez Bryant, we could say young Dez had some of that in him. Just he all he saw was the pylon. He didn't see nothing else.
Right. He didn't give a damn about nothing else.
Getting there.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm very excited for CD going forward with that. And Dak, to me, Dak is who I told people he was years ago. Like, dog, Dak is that dude, man. I'm sorry. He that dude. Everybody's starting to see it now, man. So what do you think about Dak Prescott's play, man?
Outstanding, man. Especially coming back off that foot injury. He don't look like he lost a step in terms of, what he's able to do, spin that field, man. They always said Dak had a weak arm. Dak can't make the throws. Dak did it. Ain't nobody saying that no more. If they are, they alive. Because he has legitimately become a passing quarterback. And he makes the right decisions. He makes the right reads. Every now and then he'll have a bonehead one. He'll try to do too much. But, the dude he's legit. He's the real deal. So somewhere out there in Cowboy land, I know there's still a grown-ass man with his number 9 jersey on. Praying and hoping that Tony hey, listen to me. Tony Romo is not coming back. I've been told y'all Tony Romo will be coming back. So we've moved on to an era, and he's legitimately taking over the team. He commands respect. You got a game plan.
Hey, Darren, unmute. I think you muted. You don't know you muted, bro.
Oh, there you go.
I see you reacting over there.
I was like, that faction still out there? Man, that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, they still. Trust me, they still out there.
They out there.
They out there. They're out there. The Romo Manics, they still out there.
And Romo was my guy, but man, I've been off of him.
Bro.
Yeah. And I sent a tweet to Cliff Avery. I said, brother, if I ever meet you in person, man, drink is on me. No offense to Tony, but I'm sorry, man. That back crack thing it moved down for our franchise because. Just think we could be dealing with a 40-year-old Romo right now because, Jerry Jones is not going to, let him go no way, no how. So we probably would still be dealing with Romo and his antics right now. Just kind of think about that for a second. So
that's facts.
Yeah.
And that to your question, man, about what Dak is, I think I brought it up in week 1 when the first time we did it. Man, to see him. Well, first of all, to Rich's point, to see him playing and just moving and just doing his thing off that injury is like encouraging as hell, man. And see him spinning the ball and making the throws. But the two things that you're encouraged by is one that in most good quarterbacks, when they become good to great, is which is why I think Dak is. I mean, I think he's gotten really good and he's becoming great. Is that he's getting a chance, and kudos to Cowboys for keeping more around. I think he's getting a chance to grow in an offense that suits him, and have some consistency in the system that he's playing in. But in terms of his craft, you see the work he's put in. Because I dare say, man, the best throw that he's had so far this season was the throw to CeeDee Lamb that CeeDee Lamb should have caught in that Tampa game that resulted in the pick.
Mm-hmm.
Man, year 1 through 3, Dak, there's no way in hell he's making that throw. And when he threw it, my initial was, oh, Dak, you pushed one, like try to push it. And then I saw the replay, and it's like the window was there. But, man, that was one hell of a pass because he would wait the guys to get wide open before he would throw it. So you had the anticipation. You had the zip. And he came into the frame, and it was on him where he should have caught the ball. I was like, that's the best pass. That's the best pass I think I've seen Dak throw, like maybe ever. And it was unfortunate they resulted in the pick, but it just showed you the growth of where he was from year 1, 2, and 3 to now. And you were starting to see it last year before he broke the ankle. But man, that dude, he has absolutely become a legit passing threat and a good one. And defensively, because now you see him in his progressions, like he knows where his outlets are. Like he's completely unraveled. Like, if you blitz that year 1 through 3, he's bringing the ball down. His eyes looking at the rush. He's doing all these things. He's not even fazed by it now. So to see his growth and in his offense and what they putting around him, I'm loving it, bro. I'm loving it. I'm on the 4 train. For real. The 4 is QB1, baby. I'm with it.
He's worth the money. He's worth the money. All these knuckleheads out there, he is worth the money.
All of it.
I'm glad they finally broke that man off and should have taken care of it sooner. We would have had more cap room. But they definitely did the right thing by paying that man. Yeah. Pay your quarterback.
I'm just glad all
that's
that
the value you put on leadership too. You know what I'm saying? What's the value of leadership? Everybody gravitates to this cat, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'll use hoop jogging / Cliff Frank's accent. He is a leader of men.
Leader of men.
And what value do you put on that? So yeah, they definitely got their guy. Definitely got their guy.
I'm just happy that the homosexuals have shut up, man. Bro, I'm telling you, man. Some of these Facebook groups and fan pages, man, it gets wild, man. Like
I must have gotten kicked out of 10 Cowboy groups because of the Romo Dak debate.
Like, dude,
at least 10. They probably have not more.
No shit.
Listen, man, crazy. I respect the hell out of Tony Romo. Didn't love him, I respect him. But at the end of the day, I'm like, what did he do to still be holding on to him? Now, I get it. He was the best we had since Troy. I understand that. We went through a lot of junk before him. Granted. All right, no problem. But we don't go off like – it's like real Cowboy fans. Since 96, our team ain't exist. Like, that shit is like –
man.
It's been rough, man.
And the Romo guys always say, the Romosexuals, oh, he never had anybody. He played with T.O. 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 And he had prime T.O.
And they did work, but they couldn't stop anybody. So it was right. They did work. I mean,
he played on that one team. They must have had like 12 or 13 guys that went to the Pro Bowl that year. I mean, they were stacked on defense. They were stacked on offense. You had young Witten in his prime. You had
three-headed monster at running back. Like,
man, then you had Marion Barber and man, come on. The whole line went to the Pro Bowl. So
What are we saying?
He had his window and he didn't do a damn thing with it. That's Tony Romo.
I won't give you that, but we can move on. I won't give you that, but we can move on.
Yeah.
Hey man, he ain't did enough to be still talking about him 4 years later, man.
No.
Right. Hell of an analyst though.
You should.
Hell of an analyst though. You look good with that
CBS
CBS jacket on.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, exactly. We should be well off him, man, because Dak doesn't deserve that.
Right.
If nothing else. Yeah, Dak doesn't deserve it.
Right.
It's like, why are we holding on to 9 when he's been out of the game 5 years? And look, he ain't tripping. He got $115 million of CBS's money.
Yes. Yep.
He's moved on.
So, but just throwing it out there. If there's any Romo guys, if I see you on social media, I'm gonna bury you. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm gonna bury your ass.
Hey, I'm gonna give a quote. I'm gonna give a quote from LeVar Ball, man. He said, "Don't never feel bad for the man in the Maybach." So
Right.
That's real talk, man.
Good. He had his window. It's number 4's time. Then let that man do his thing. Enjoy this, because quarterback play. If you look around the league, quarterback play is always at a premium. I mean, it's like, don't be out here holding on to what was when you got a whole lot of good with what is. It's like,
damn, man, look at last year. Look at last year when we DiNucci and Gilbert and damn.
And that's the thing.
When we was playing, Dalton could play.
Right. We went through Anthony Wright. We went through Clint Sterner.
Oh man, Clint Sterner.
God.
Drew Henson.
We went through
people forget about the quarterback hell that we went through.
Right.
Yeah.
So quarterback
we went through.
Always at a premium, man. Appreciate this dude, man.
Yes.
Appreciate this guy. God almighty. We lived that.
We ain't got to go back to history. Let's go back to last year. We started 7th round draft pick.
Oh my God.
Let's go back to this last
and
year.
Ben DiNucci. Garrett Gilbert.
My favorite was the guy, I won't say his name, who said that Dak was on notice when they signed Ben DiNucci. The grown man literally said that. They put Dak on notice. That's why they didn't sign him. This guy's the future. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. So I'm sorry, y'all. If I see y'all on social media, I'm gonna bury your ass. So if I'm in your Cowboy, just kick me out, because I ain't gonna shut up about it. So
bro, I'll help you. Tag me if you.
I'm telling you. To Richard's point, people were doing that. You remember he started against the Eagles last year. Oh yeah, it's DiNucci time. Man, that dude looked like a Pop Warner quarterback, man. I'm like, dog, get this dude out of here, man. Shit, I can play quarterback better than that, hell.
Man, he look like mad when you play if you're playing with the controller upside down. That's how you damn, shit.
That dude couldn't do shit.
Sorry.
He doesn't even look like a pro. So
no.
So man, I had a question for y'all regarding the matchup. So outside of Hurts, which is obvious, because we talked extensively about how he can hurt you, and it's well noted he can hurt you with his legs and make plays with his arm when he extends the play and all that thing. As far as the Cowboys offense matchup against Philly's defense, what do you see the big concern there? Because they still got, Lyle's out with his stupidity that we ain't really dealt with yet. Are we really sold on our center spot, right? So what do you see matchup-wise as far as, like, say, Philly's front seven is the defense period in terms of the matchup against Cowboys offense? We may be a concern going into tonight.
Oh, I'm more concerned about the pressure coming off the edge, more so than the center. I think Tyler, like I said, I voted for Tyler when I voted for the Lombardi Award. You know what I'm saying? He was the guy I voted for. I think he's not a world beater center like an all pro, but he's getting better every game. I notice he's getting better every game. So Dak don't get a whole lot of pressure off the middle. It's normally the edges. It's right. Are we going to get Tyron Smith or are we going to get Tyrone Smith or whoever the hell this guy morphs into on occasion?
Right.
That's the big question, because he struggles on occasion with guys that they line up out wide, they come hard and fast off the edge. Tyron ain't that dude no more. He's still solid. He ain't that dude no more.
His slide step is definitely. He's not. He
definitely lost a step. With all the injuries and everything.
If he still gets them hands on you,
Yeah. Oh, he get them hands on you, it's over. You know what I'm saying?
Because about 95% of that game last week, he was absolutely destroying his guy.
Right.
And then the one sack, to your point, Richard, the one sack he gave up, Dak almost lost the ball.
Right.
It was the guy got out wide and got that speed on him. He couldn't quite get out there like he used to. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, that edge rush is probably the big concern. You're right.
Right. And then right tackle, Steele's done a great job. Like they've overachieved. Everybody was talking about moving Zach Martin over to right tackle.
Please
I think they made the right decision. Just kind of hold your horses a little bit. Yeah. It's gonna be fine. So like I said, I think I give the offensive line a solid B+. Overall for the year. They got some things they can do better, but they have been protecting that, which is the most important thing. So as long as they protect the edges, give Dak that little extra second to just read and diagnose, we good there. So that's what I'm looking at tonight to see how Tyron Smith is going to be the key component tonight.
I think the early strategy with them, because I think that D-line can still get after it a little bit. And as we all know here on the panel and everybody in the chat, that defense is never as fresh and strong on snap 40 as they are on snap 10. Mm-hmm. I think it's I'd like to see, now watch him come out and do something completely opposite, but I would like to see more whom I call the Beaver. I'd like to see the Beaver come out and really try to establish that run and let that O-line get off early and hit them in the mouth. And do the switch up like we talked about, Richard, with Zeke and Pollard, and of course, keep the balance, short passing game. I don't know what Amari's got. Amari's active, right? He's still gonna play with the rib?
Yeah, he's gonna play. Yeah.
So I'd like to see them try to establish and have some success against the run. Using the run game. And hitting them in the mouth, and then soften them up. Hopefully for some play action later in the game. Mm-hmm. But I like to see them try to establish that run early in the first 3 series. And if they have success with it, stick with it. And then this run, don't get run your action off of that.
And this is my thing with Kellen Moore. Don't get cute tonight.
That part.
Don't get cute. Don't get cute.
He has those tendencies.
Put the damn ball in Zeke's hands on first down. Run the football. Let's get to 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. So Dak can make some plays. And guess what? Control the damn tempo. Try all this little fancy stuff that you had on the whiteboard. That you run around the quarterback room like a wild animal or something. Right. Put that aside tonight. We need a nice, well thought out, well-executed game plan tonight. None of that fancy shit. We don't need all that tonight because this is where we have problems. And for some reason, we always tend to do it against the Eagles. We always try to pull that little extra one that we got in the back of the back of your wallet or whatever. No, none of that.
That aha play. That Lucky Whitehead bullshit.
Right. Technical, fundamental football.
Shout out to Lucky Whitehead. Right, yeah. We don't dislike you on this show, man, but damn, boy.
None of the Lucky Whitehead.
You don't have no nigga on your team with red dreads, with red dreadlocks on your team. I'm sorry.
But don't get cute. Let's control the tempo. You frustrate the Eagles when you control the tempo. Then let them start doing the wild shit and let our defense have opportunities. But when you start having turnovers early and you give Jalen Hurts more opportunities, it's going to be a long night.
I agree.
Yeah, and we just got to avoid these young quarterback coming out parties that we've given up to the Eagles. You remember when Carson Wentz went nuts on us at Cowboys Stadium? Yeah. Oh, my God, man. I want to turn that shit off. So we can't let Jalen Hurts have his coming out party on us, which is our home opener, right?
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, the crowd going to be behind the team. And as you know, when the Cowboys are playing early, man, AT&T is a great place to be. And we've been doing a good job of setting tone early. Because, in previous years, we had trouble with our offense sputtering early, and it just caused this groundswell that our defense couldn't keep up with. And then all of a sudden, we're down 3 touchdowns. Now Dak is throwing like goddamn Tom Brady. It's a little too little too late. I think we're doing a better job establishing pace early, and I don't see that change. I don't think the Eagles got nothing to really threaten us, like you say, with our patchwork at O-line, which we've been doing the last 4 years, so I'm not so much worried about that. I think, a little bit against Rich, I do want us to establish, going a little hairstyle and smash mouth Zeke, but I do want us to throw some other stuff to get Pollard going, maybe some screen action, just kind of, catch him off pace. And, just to keep them off balance. And then after that, it's just going to be just fresh P-U-S-S-Y with Zeke. The rest of the game just beating their damn O-line up, man. So I just want us to just have that balance of control, of establishing the front line, and then just build some off.
Yeah.
Throw some misdirection, and then it just go right back to what we do. I don't see them giving us a big challenge.
Exactly. I'm gonna make a play call prediction tonight. Cowboys that's gonna go for a big play. Probably gonna happen in the second quarter after they, if they establish something. And of course, this is all predicated on how they establish and whatever. But look for the wheel route to Pollard tonight to be a player.
Yep.
Look at that wheel route tonight for Pollard, particularly if Amari's compromised a little bit, because I think they're going to employ.
I think he'll be more of a decoy tonight.
There you go.
Yeah, hell yeah. He got to be.
And Pollard is really good at space. He's got good hands. So I think we may end up seeing by really default probably him a little bit more in the obviously in the short passing game, but as they use that and make that safety come up a little bit, make that linebacker cheat a little, a step or two. Look for that wheel route. Look for that wheel route, slip in behind him, and get the Pollard and turn into a big play. Look out for that.
You see some CeeDee Lamb jet sweep action?
I really don't want to see CeeDee Lamb sweep action.
We don't do good with jet sweeps.
I want to see him get off the line, get in the route. I want to see Dak stick his foot in the ground and let it go downfield. I don't want that behind the line. Lucky Whitehead.
Lucky Whitehead.
I want to see that.
That was a lucky special, not the jet sweep. -2 yards every time.
When you have the Pollard going one way and he's pitching it back to CD going the other way, I want none of that. I want everything going forward, dog. I don't want none of that.
Lucky Whitehead may have a record of times being mentioned in the Cowboys pregame. Shout out to Lucky, man.
Shout out to Lucky Whitehead with unlucky ass. So
not so lucky Whitehead.
Not so lucky.
Unlucky Whitehead.
Oh man! All right, before we wrap, gentlemen, let's do final score predictions and any parting words you got, man. So, Rich, go ahead.
Final score. I'm actually hoping for a lower scoring game tonight. So I would say 17-14 Cowboys.
Okay. That's a Shannon Sharp approach. Shannon kind of had a close prediction. All right.
Yeah.
What you got, D. Brown? Well, Skip did. I'm sorry. Skip had a close one.
Let's see. I will. I think just because of how they stalled a little bit, I think after getting out the gate early and scoring, I think a little bit of higher score, man. I would go 27-20 Dallas.
27-20. All right.
I think I should give up a play. 27-20. Yeah.
27-20. All right. So now I play this little side game called Voodoo 22. So basically, if your team that you draw scores 22 points, you get like this nice little pot of money. So I need the Eagles to score 22 points. So please, Eagles, score 22. I got my own selfish reasons. 22. Obscure ass number. And I got Cowboys putting up 31 on them. The Cowboys put up 31. I think we got that firepower, and I think we're going to be on them early and often. So that's my prediction.
All right. There it is.
There it is.
Well, I can't get off of Eagles. I cannot get off of Eagles Cowboys pregame show without saying with my chest, fuck the Eagles. I hate them most of all the NFC East rivals. They can kiss my ass first and longest. Fuck the Eagles. The Cowboys all day, every day.
They're the worst fans on earth, man. Eagles fans are like
Eagles fans to know that from me live that I hate them motherfuckers. Fuck them. Go Cowboys.
You know that part of the toilet that you can't clean that good? Like you reach around the neck. That's the Eagle fans. That's where they come from.
Yeah,
that's where they come from. Like you piss and you miss. and it like ricocheted and hit the other side. That's where Eagles cans come from, man. I hate the Bastards.
Oh, I love it, and I'm with you.
Y'all said it best. You know, if it's any you say you should keep that same energy after the game, man. We always do. What you talking about?
It never
we
never
will.
go anywhere. Y'all know this. Never go anywhere.
But yeah, if it's any fans that just hope something bad happens, you know, I don't want you to die. You know, if you lost a little bit of your life savings over a very frivolous reason, I'm not gonna go to sleep crying for your mishap, as it were, because it couldn't have happened to a better person, which is the Eagles fan. The Michael Irvin, y'all booed. I mean, y'all even spill over the basketball. You booed Santa Claus, you booed Destiny Child when they were like young girls. Like, y'all just horrible people, man. It is what it is.
They're
I hope we stop a mud hole in y'all ass. I hope, and the Eagles are my team, so I want y'all to make me money, and we still whip your ass. So that's what I need. That's what's gonna happen. Oh, this guy here, y'all ain't won a Super Bowl in 25 years. Y'all won one Super Bowl in the history of your team, sir. See, this is I'm not doing it.
Nick Foles is a god in Eagles country. That says enough for me. Nick Foles.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing the Eagles fan. Nope.
A broke clock is right twice a day. I don't want to hear that bullshit.
Yeah. Take that bullshit over to who's a one-time winner.
What else we got?
Yeah, what else we got? Nah.
What else we got?
Take that bullshit to
Millie
Seattle.
Vanilli.
Go argue with a Seattle fan.
Since we talking about one hit wonder, Millie Vanilli got nothing to too.
Come on, man. That's so bad. That is so bad. Anywho, man, thank y'all for tuning in for the show, man. If y'all want to see more of these, man, hit the like button on the way out. Y'all comment on these. If you think I'm wrong, you think Rich wrong, you think D Brown wrong, I promise you, we're not going to lose any sleep over your comments. But if you think we're doing a good job, do that too. And we're going to try to do this every week, man, schedules permitting. So, great show, fella.
Love it, man. Let's get back at it next week. Go Cowboys.
Yes, all right, peace. Go Cowboys. Let's get it.